the spleen. Of course, this is the stomach. Remember the two sphincters. Up here is a gastroesophageal, also known as cardiac sphincter. Down here is a pyloric sphincter. Okay, and of course, this is the duodenum, first section of the small intestine. Next section of the small intestine is jejunum, and then we can't define where it stops and the ileum starts, but we do know where the ileum ends because we can see where it joins the large intestine. And on a cat, all of this is on the cat. Now I'm just going through it to get us to the large intestine. So the small intestine joins the large intestine right here, and at this point there's another sphincter called the ileocecal sphincter that regulates discharge from the ileum into the large intestine. Now, why it's called the cecum is that you have this suspended pouch right here, so that material passing through here can actually fall down into this blind sump, so to speak, and then work its way back up. So this is called the cecum. This is the ileum, last 12 feet. And so the sphincter is the ileocecal sphincter. Okay, now we're at the large intestine. Attached to it is the appendix. Okay? Then we have an ascending colon, a transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid, S-shaped sigmoid colon, rectum, this thicker walled expanded chamber, and this is where fecal material begins to pack in before you really, and then the anal canal is all of this, and then of course the anus is the opening, but the anal canal from here to here. The sphincters that we've talked about before would be the internal here and the external down here. Okay, now each one of these little segments is called a haustra. Actually, a haustrum. H-A-U-S-T-R-U-M. Plurals, haustra. Okay? So, when we talked about specific types of motility of the large intestine, remember one of them was haustral churning, where material just moves along from this segment to this one and churns, it goes to the next segment and churns, and so forth. That's haustral churning. Then we have these longitudinal bands of muscle, and those are called taenia coli. They're long longitudinal muscles, and when they contract, they create what is called mass movement, and that happens about every 4 hours, right after a meal usually. Okay, now that's the things that these we don't see in the cat because it doesn't have it. It just has a large intestine or a colon. It doesn't have all these individual segments. Does not have haustra, does not have taenia coli. So that's why I thought I ought to point that out to you. This, of course, is the pancreas. Now we can see that on the cat, so make sure you remember that. Usually on the cat we see it as a light cream-colored mass of tissue, kind of attached to the duodenum. Okay. And then, of course, inside the stomach of the cat, remember we exposed those ridges called gastric rugae, and then the mass of connective tissue that is attached to the large curvature of the stomach and extends down like this. Remember, that's the greater omentum. And then on the inside, the tissue there attaching the stomach to the liver and the diaphragm, that's called the lesser omentum because it's on lesser curvature of stomach, greater curvature of stomach. And then don't forget the 4 anatomical regions of the stomach. Now, I didn't show you those on the cat, but those are going to be on your illustrations. The cardia, right here, where the cardiac sphincter is. The fundus, that extends up against the diaphragm. The body, which is the bulk of it. And then a pylorus, where it narrows down to the pyloric sphincter. Those are the four anatomical regions of the stomach. And then, of course, if we had it, you could see the diaphragm across here, and where the esophagus passes through the diaphragm is the esophageal hiatus. Right? Okay. Do y'all have any questions? No?